Good evening again, Gills fans, and welcome back to Gills in the Blood TV as we preview FA Cup second round this weekend. Myself, Boz and Dave again this week. We look forward to Carlisle at home. No midweek game to talk about this week. It's been pretty quiet by all accounts, which is quite nice.
Is good news, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously we didn't speak too much last week about the court case that went in our favour. But it's another thing we can tick off now. We can just concentrate on the football, can't we? Which is
just
good.
the Edinburgh one still hanging over us, isn't it?
Oh, apparently so, yes. But it's all gone a bit quiet, so I don't know whether...
Yeah, now he's got another job, that'll be it for a little while, won't it?
Maybe that.
Last chance saloon for Mr Edinburgh?
I think he's got a lot to prove all of a sudden.
He's back to where he was when he first started building that reputation, so... but right. I think now...
Like the chat, I've got a friend who's an Orient fan, I chat to Dave, funnily enough, and I said, what do you think? What's the consensus? And it's quite funny. You go on Twitter, the Orient friend.
Yeah, the Orient fans are really positive, and everyone else is really
negative. Exactly, lukewarm from everyone else. But I mean, I don't get the. I mean, we've had a lot worse managers, and do you know what?
I've got a few more.
Let's cast your mind back, right? Getting rid of Edinburgh and then taking Pinnock. In hindsight,
Well, we said at the time, didn't we? We said at the time it was the right decision to go, but he wasn't replaced adequately, unfortunately. So we'd have never finished having to go on the last day if
he'd have stayed,
Justin had still been there. We've said that.
Yeah.
But it was just the things he was saying, I think, that cost him his job.
I think I forget the calibre of Justin Edinburgh. At that level, I don't think you can argue about his credentials, but I think he's got a difficult job at that club. It is still in a better state.
They're in an absolute state.
It's not like they're struggling to push on for the top six, is it? They're struggling to stay in the league at the moment.
I think he's absolutely right. I mean, they lost to...
spanked by Yeovil at the weekend, and I think was it not Yeovil,
Torquay. Down there.
Sorry, yeah.
They've got Mr Pinnock at the weekend, so it'll be interesting to see if they shake hands.
Is that this weekend?
Yeah, it's the first game.
And then I think they've got Solihull and Moors after that, so they're playing 3 of the bottom 4, I think, but...
So a similar situation to us. Can they beat teams around them? That's the thing. So and then it opens up gaps. But yeah,
the thing with Edinburgh, everywhere he goes, he seems to be a good short-term fix, don't he?
He starts really well, I think. Doesn't he? Comes in and has effect.
As soon as the wheels start to come off, he loses. He can't.
He did great, but he had some momentum with the gang of 4. He had a bit of positive momentum. The club was feeling positive, and so the wheels started rolling. But Leighton Orient, they are in the crest of us, or the dip of a slump, aren't they? They really are.
Yeah, they're 5th bottom or something like that. Yeah, they're really struggling.
It's going to be really interesting to see if he can turn that around. So, but good luck to him. Good luck to Orient.
Yeah, there's nothing to do with us anymore, is it? There's been Gills fans slagging him off on Twitter again, and slagging off Charlie. I don't understand.
Charlie does reply to a lot, and I don't think that helps because he does bite, don't he, quite easily. I
spoke to Charlie last night, private message Charlie, and just said, "Good luck to your old man."
Yeah.
But like he said, that's his dad.
Of course it is.
Yeah, I get that.
It's not just someone slagging off a team that he supports. That's his old man. If someone started digging out your parents, you'd say something. I'm pretty sure. So would I. So would all of us. It's human nature at the end of the day. But obviously, there's social media is different. You have to be careful of what you say because obviously everyone can read it. But anyway, that's enough about him.
That's in the past now.
Carlisle Saturday. Team news pretty good to be quite fair. Couple of minor doubts. Lee Martin for me shouldn't play.
No, I don't think so. I think if there's any doubt, just don't risk him.
It's concussion, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it was Gary Wade who does all the stats for Gills. He tweeted today and said surely a week after that's happened, he should be ruled out on medical grounds.
Well, my profession,
in
insurance, I went to a seminar on concussion, head injuries, mainly NFL and NRA in Australia, and honestly, it's frightening, absolutely frightening. And it's coming down to, let's call it soccer. It's not football, but soccer. You Americanise it. In America, my lad at Dave GFC went out to Philadelphia with my mate. He watched under 12s game. No heading of football.
Yeah, they're trying to bring it in, aren't they? To all kids
Shearer
football.
Was trying to talk about it, yeah.
It's not for me. I watched the Alan Shearer documentary, Football, Me and Dementia, and they did all the tests on him. Come back absolutely fine. The weird thing for me was that when they weighed the footballs, the modern day football and the one that, because the big thing was Jeff Astle, ex-West Brom striker who died of dementia, and his daughter was on there. She was quite prominent on the documentary, and it was a really good watch. But weirdly, the modern day football, dry, came back heavier than what they used to head.
Yeah.
The problem came about when it rained, and it just used to hold water. Yeah. And then I think it increased in weight by something ridiculous, like 70%.
You are going to see maybe not in football immediately, but in NFL and NRA, you are going to see massive claims coming out there. You really are. It's going to be the new
Cans
asbestos.
of worms and all that, isn't
Yeah,
it?
new asbestos. But hopefully Lee Martin doesn't play.
For his own benefit, I think.
For his own benefit. And not only, but also, I'd like to see Wagstaff get another 90 minutes of competitive football.
Yeah, I think he needs minutes, doesn't he? Or we could maybe get Sean Clare into a position further up the pitch and maybe play Waggy at wing back. But yeah, no, the thing for just going back to that documentary again, though, and the thing you said about outlawing head, for me, don't outlaw it.
No, because at some point
almost
they're
like
going to have to do it when they get older, so you better to learn from the start.
Exactly, coach it properly, coach kids out to go.
That's
And
right,
I think
right,
John Terry was on there, and he said, "I'd never stop my son and my daughter heading because she plays as well, his daughter." He said, "I'd never stop them heading footballs." He said, "Like me, go and attack the football, win it."
Absolutely.
If you don't coach it and then they don't know how to do it, then you start heading it on the wrong part of your head. That's then going to cause you more problems.
Like my lad, 12-year-old, we've coached. He's probably the best header of football in his youth football team, because eye on the ball, attack the ball. Don't take your eye off the ball.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, and you'll head it in the right place more often than not. A lot of the kids are like
that's
that.
it, and then it starts hitting on the back of the head and the top of the head, and then you start causing it. I mean, we all do it from time to time. I still do it now as an adult. It happens that sometimes it's just if you get an elbow or a nudge and you end up heading it wrong, but don't take it out the game.
But it was a horrible blow. I mean,
I've not actually seen it apart from live, and obviously we was right at the other end. But yeah, there was a few people just.
It was the old Bambi thing afterwards as well.
I think the legs went and he went down like he'd been knocked out by a boxer.
So why not give him a rest? Just let him recover, and we've got cover in that sort of position, haven't we? So
we've got Sean Clare in there, we've got Scott Wagstaff in there. We could also maybe even just go to an orthodox 3 up front and just play Hess and Byrne as 2 central midfielders with your wing backs, and then play another 3 up front.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
But we'll see. Josh Parker knocked to the knee.
Again,
another one. If he's any doubt, leave it,
rest.
because we need him fit for league games. You don't want to risk him and then he ends up missing a month, because he's been one of our best players.
That's an interesting thing, because I'm thinking go strongest team, because next round, third round, big game potentially.
Oh yeah, go as strong as we can, but I still don't want to risk people. I wouldn't make loads of changes, definitely not. I wouldn't be saying.
We didn't against Orient, did we? We went pretty strong.
The only other one's Saquani, isn't it? So I'd say maybe Amar comes back in for him, Scott Wagstaff for Lee Martin.
Probably List for Parker.
And maybe List for Parker, yeah. That's not bringing in people that you wouldn't that are not first teamers, that have not been involved all year round. So it's still good enough to beat Carlisle if we play properly.
Hope so.
As we've already said, that's back page of the Medway Messenger today. Gills have plan B if key men miss clash. That's reference to obviously all we just spoke about, Lee Martin, Gabriel Zaquani and Josh Parker. Lovell out for revenge. Read this today on Twitter and was like, I couldn't really work it out, but apparently it's just it's a bit of a joke that he thinks he never sort of got the better of Keith Curl when he was playing. Decent enough defender when he back in the 80s and early 90s. Won 3 England caps, proper centre half. So
trying to generate some sort of story of interest for what, let's face it, isn't.
It's not like glamorous.
It's not going to be the first one on Match of the Day, is it? I can't see it being
exactly.
so, or whatever channel it's on these days. But interestingly, they beat Oldham in the last round. So Mr. Lovell had a chat with Mr. Wellens last week, apparently straight after the game, and said that it'll be a proper football match.
No, they're not. Yeah.
We was at Orient, weren't we? And we were absolutely brilliant first half, and then wheels fell off for 20 minutes, and it weren't until they scored that we sort of pulled our finger out our arse and carried on.
And Tom Hayes wrestled their defenders to the ground.
Tom Hayes, laid the smack down on their centre back. But yeah, last time third round was Stoke. So FA Cup memories. Let's have a little chat. Let's go off on a tangent. First FA Cup memory, best FA Cup memory. I mean, we're all going to say probably the quarterfinals in '99.
Yeah, well, the Arsenal game. What a magnificent day out that was.
2-2, and then they decided to bring on the proper players. They bring on Pires, Henry, and was it Lundberg or someone like that? Yeah. And then they ran away with it a little bit.
Absolutely marvellous day. But the run to the quarterfinals as well, under that team, was terrific.
Yeah, it was a really good side.
You know,
but we weren't lucky. Let's be honest.
No.
We beat Premier League sides and we beat them properly as well. It was 3-1 twice, wasn't it? Yeah, Bradford and Sheffield Wednesday.
Walsall as well. We beat.
I think it was Darlington was the first round.
Darlington.
And didn't they? And then weren't they the lucky losers that year?
They were the lucky losers.
Went back in and got Villa because United were playing in that FIFA World Cup Championship out in Brazil.
So we were all moaning, thinking, we've been hard done by here, and
then we went all the way to Stamford Bridge.
What a great day that was.
Obviously, Nicky Southall's goal gets talked about every time Gills have an FA Cup game. First FA Cup memory for me though, really big one, 95 against the same team, Sheffield Wednesday.
Chris
Waddle and Mark Bright scored
Mark
the goals,
Bright,
I think,
that's right.
and Chris Pike scored our goal penalty.
I remember that because
Keeper got sent off, didn't they? They played with 10 men for virtually the whole game and still beat us. Was it Kevin Pressman got sent off first couple
I
of
had
minutes?
my mate Govey, his misses his ticket,
Right.
and it got 3:10, and neither of them were showing. So I actually flogged the ticket on face value to someone else, and they turned up 5 minutes later, and she couldn't get in.
Don't be late. Don't be late, kids.
Hopefully, still friends.
Or don't buy tickets off Dave.
So, but that was good. That was a good game as well. Chris Pike, yeah.
It wasn't a big Welsh fella.
Great, yeah.
Decent enough
He did
midnight.
well for us,
In a
didn't he?
very poor side because that was the last season before Mr. Scully arrived.
Yeah, it was.
So,
Yeah.
and they got to Wembley twice. Two seasons before that, Sheffield Wednesday. They were a good side at the time. They didn't because they lost to Arsenal twice, didn't they? '93 League Cup and FA
That's
Cup
right.
finals. Yeah.
Remember the Villa one on telly?
2009 ITV.
Ashley Young
dived.
dived.
And that was a full strength Villa team, wasn't it?
That
Minus
was.
Gareth Barry.
James
but,
Milner twice, wasn't it? 2 James
Yeah.
Milner goals
First one was
and
very
Simeon
good.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Simeon Jackson scored a really good goal against Brad
goal,
Friedel.
wasn't it? And that was really when everyone went, "Oh, Simeon Jackson, he's
Yeah, he took up, sat up and took notice of him.
I
Then
think
yeah,
I put $100,000 on his price tag, didn't it?" So
and he did a bit more at Wembley a few months later, didn't he? As well. So.
The one for me was the Charlton game. I think it was my first year
About
of the season.
2004, wasn't it? I think that.
Yeah,
3-2.
Bertie Bossy.
Yeah, Bertrand Bossou was an absolute worldie that day. Tommy Johnson, who I was never ever rated,
He's your
he
favourite
scored
player of all
that
time,
day.
isn't he?
Paul Smith scored, and I think Paul Shaw scored as well. I know we were Premier League at the time, we were struggling down
They
the
were
bottom
Premier
of the
League,
Championship.
and then Stoke was the last one, wasn't it? 2010, 11 or 11, 12,
1-0,
I
wasn't
think.
it? Pulis came
Tony
back.
Pulis came back, yeah. So sure
So
that was
there
fun.
was a bit of a rumour, weren't there, that Scally weren't going to let him in the ground.
He's only allowed in the ground, isn't it? If he's a manager
yeah.
of a team now, I think, isn't it? That's the
Something
only.
silly like that.
Was it Newcastle was Carlisle
The League Cup, yeah.
That was a few seasons. That was that was when Taylor was back again.
That's right. They were 1-0. Gabriel Overton. They were awful.
John Egan own
Yeah,
goal,
John
wasn't it?
Egan,
Yeah,
first goal,
Overton
didn't go.
cost it.
Didn't go. We just didn't go for it, did we? It was like we sat back.
Then he
for
took,
yeah,
he took
1-0.
Kedwell and Cody off after about
Yeah.
55
Norris
minutes
and
because we had
Dickinson,
someone
yeah.
on the Saturday, like a proper important league game. It was only about 4 league games in or something, so I don't know what. But yeah,
I remember that. Yeah.
There's been some bad memories as well.
Luke Norris was unlucky to be fair in that game. He had one right at the end, didn't he?
Yeah.
Dropped his shoulder. I think he mugged off Colaccini, and then Tim Krul made a good save.
Yeah.
That was the last time that ground's been full up, I think.
I think you're right.
Thought out of Wastedown was coming down that night. The way they were bouncing around.
They had a decent enough side there. Colaccini, Krul, Anita, Obertan was first team for them then. They had a couple of youngsters play, didn't they, as well? But yeah.
Yeah, I mean you're right. Last time the ground was full. I can't remember.
3 years ago, yeah, it's not been full up since, has it? We've not done anything.
I mean, let's face it. Well, last 5, 6, 7 years hasn't been great FA Cup, has it?
What's the first time we got to them?
Burscough,
Brackley twice.
Burscough sticks in the way, 'cause that was an awful team under Neil Cooper, I think.
That Tony Bullock was in goal.
Tony
Keeper
Bullock,
that couldn't catch or save
It
anything.
was played with a
But
load
apart
of
from that,
Scottish
he was
players.
alright.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was a
it's
terrible
all
team.
Scottish players. Brackley last year.
We haven't got enough time on the
Scottish
video.
Gumbers. Brackley last year on the telly, wasn't it? We lost. Was it
4-3 in the replay. Yeah, we
was it
2-0 down
4-3
in the
or
home.
5-3 or something?
4-3 went it after extra
When
time.
I went to work, we went to extra time. By the time I got to work, we were already out. So
Yeah, that was grim, whatever it was.
It wasn't
I
the best.
think Wagstaff scored. That sticks in
Hesse
my
got
head.
one in the
Hesse
game
got
as well.
one.
Cody got a penalty, I think, as well, or
Yeah.
got one.
That might have been them actually. That might have been the 3.
And the first game was Newball got them both, didn't he? We were 2-0 down.
I remember the year before we played, and Gary Mulligan played for them, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, they were awful that day, and yet they still very nearly beat us.
Still.
They scored a very good goal, I think.
Little bit in the paper, just to go off. Transfer window soon.
Yes.
Midfield, I don't think that's too many surprises, is it?
Creative.
3 trialists played yesterday in the friendly that Greg Cundle and Ben Chapman scored in.
One
I
of
looked
which
at the
was a
teams that were
striker,
named. I think
and
it
we've
was.
been linked to one, haven't we? A lower league guy.
Have we got any names? Do we know any names?
I've asked a couple of people, not been told anything, so no, struggling to work it out.
There is a lower league
I
striker.
tried to work it out by
Yeah.
formation from the players that were playing because it was, I think, either way, it looked like it was going to be a central midfielder, a wing back / winner, and maybe a number 10. That was the only way I could work it out. So, which would sit with what we probably need. We definitely need a central midfielder,
A bit of creativity.
and we probably need a number 10 if we're not going to play Sean Clare there because then it's only Lee Martin. So.
Are you talking about a wing back? Then maybe he's recognised. Do you know what? Get a wing back. Sten Clare's loan and we can push him forward.
Claire's a big one. I think that needs to be done.
I think we have to do all we can to get him in for the rest of the season. He's been very good. Defensively, I think we're absolutely fine. I've seen a couple of people say we need a centre half.
I don't think. If Lacey's fit, we don't.
Sorry, Lee Clifton. I'm not going to. I like you, but yeah, you said we needed a centre half, not for me.
Really?
We've
Lee? Come on, mate.
Zakwani, Amar, Nugent, Lacey, Finn O'Mara.
Ogilvy can play
Ogilvy
there.
can play there. O'Neill can play there.
That's 7.
That's 7.
Yeah.
So
that's without your
if
tuckers
there's
and your huckles coming through.
Yeah,
you
kids
can do
going
double
for
your
figures.
who's and your whats. Yeah, if we can get if there's enough left over after we spend this £1.5 million worth of winnings on a centre forward.
That, by the way, I said to you Saturday, I did see one tweet last weekend that said we should go out and sign a player for $1 million and show our intent. You're crazy, you think we're spending that much money?
We have some funny fans.
We do. It was just one.
That's Championship manager for you.
Yeah.
FIFA. So
exactly.
Realistically, we're looking at loans and free transfers, aren't we?
Well, this is the thing.
We're going to pay a fee, it's not going to be a lot.
Let's be realistic. You talk, let's switch back to centre point. That money is going towards the stadium.
Yeah.
And the upkeep of the factory.
Which I think most people are aware of. If Steve can get, I don't know, 100, 150, 200,000 out of it, at tops, we'd be happy.
But everyone's going, we don't need to go put a roof on the Brimewell stand. You cannot put a roof on the Brimewell stand because it's a temporary stand and it would block light and we would not get planning permission.
No,
that is a fact.
It's a big one, yeah.
So fans needs to stop harping on about that. And the fact we get a new stadium, I mean,
that's going to be temporary till we move in there. We're not going to replace it.
Oh, absolutely. And we get a new stadium, and arguably everyone says, "Oh, it will never happen." But imagine if it did, you know.
I won't hold my breath.
I'm in 2 minds over that.
I've got the brochure. I've got the brochure from '99 when he sent it out as well. So.
Yeah. Well, let's be fair. He ain't done. He's dragged his heels a wee bit, but
just seems to come up, doesn't it, every time.
Well, I've heard whispers from people outside of Mr. Scally saying that we're quite close. The land and the council on our side, the MP's on our side.
It seems to be the closest we have been ever.
Yeah.
I think. So
everyone's in the. Everyone seems to be sort of championing for it. I don't think we've ever had that. So, but how are we going to pay for it?
That's it. Well, we're not. If we're
The
spending £1 million
biggest thing is how we're going to
football,
fill it, because we're not filling what we've got now.
you have to start winning more football matches, don't you? Yeah. So.
I think your priority needs to be. I might be in the minority, but I think the priority needs to be get it right on the pitch first.
That's what Pulis said. Isn't it? It's pointless.
He did, yeah. Because then your players get your wins get your fans, and then your fans you can then go and fill a bigger stadium. But obviously you have to have money to start with to build a bigger stadium. So it's chicken and egg.
Chicken and egg, and yeah, exactly.
That is right.
Conundrum.
Yeah, it is chicken
and egg.
Chicken and egg. Yeah.
Chicken and egg.
Steve Arnold going out on loan, no surprise.
Makes sense.
Anyone going to have a five on him going to Barrow?
I mentioned that on Kent Online, didn't I? He said it could be possible.
Makes
We've already got, what's his face, Fergal Sharkey's gone out, Neil Starkey.
Yes, he's gone to
Never to be seen again.
Worthing.
What an odd signing that was. And he didn't even look bad on that one appearance, did he?
He got
He looked quite
25
lively
minutes
that
against Scunthorpe, didn't
Yeah.
he? You could have looked lively that night, that 0-0.
God, yeah.
That was an awful game. Yeah, what an awful start. What a pointless signing.
Leave one
One
up, Peter.
lad was mascot, and he was one of the best players on the pitch.
Yeah.
In the warm-up games.
It wasn't that was the night we went with no strikers, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the night we were
Elliot
like that.
List up top, yeah.
And Sean Clare.
Jean Claire.
Yeah. So, like I said on
Thank you,
Talksport
Mr.
last
Taylor.
week, we're not Barcelona. We can't play false number 9s.
Exactly. Thank you, Peter Taylor, for that.
But anyway, we're talking about all this Carlisle sad. It might not go ahead because there's been 3 snowflakes seen at the Priestfield today, so it could be called off. So kids, if you're watching, go and buy 50 pints of milk, 700 loaves of bread, and lock your doors because the world will stop, and you'll have to eat bread and butter pudding for 6 months.
And you need bottled water as well because taps are going to freeze.
Exactly.
You know, we've had it. So, you have been warned. Public information.
We do it all here, don't we?
Do it all
here. Weather reports, we've got it all covered. Another cup game next Tuesday, just quickly. Oxford. That'd be the last 16 if we win.
I've seen
that,
as well, it's being streamed on that iFollow.
Oxford are doing it I Follow, yeah, in the UK as well, which originally when it got launched was you could only do that if you was abroad and you paid for it. So I don't know whether we're going to do it as well, but I'll probably be going anyway. So, you coming?
I may well give it a go. Yeah.
We'll have a chat with Simon then, and
It's
we'll.
not 7 o'clock, is it?
7 o'clock kick-off. That's the only trouble. You'll have to use some flexi time.
Yeah, I'll work something out.
So-
But yeah, look, at the end of the day, what half and half, isn't it? Half kids and half first team players, I guess.
Yeah, I just think the closer if we start thinking
You know,
about it, though, that we
overall,
might start seeing a few more adults and a slightly fewer kids.
You know the rule about the how many changes you can make. Does that only go on league games? Does it go on cup games?
I'm not sure, but they slackened
Say
it this
for
year
instance,
anyway,
we
didn't
put,
they?
say, I don't think we will, but say we chucked in 3 kids on Saturday. Do they then count towards the 5 that have to play?
It's an excellent point.
Yeah.
I guess it would be the last competitive game. I would have
Yeah,
thought.
I'm not
No, I
saying
thought it was based on.
that.
No, I thought it was based on club appearance, senior club appearances.
Has it changed?
They changed it this season, didn't they? It's really Gilles
Very
Debate. Nick
odd
at Gilles Debate
competition.
knows the rules because he's always got copies of it. He's the one to ask. So, if you're watching, Nick, can you let us know?
And then isn't it Kent Cup after that?
The Tuesday after, unless us or Maidstone draw and get a cup replay on Saturday.
Okay.
So yeah, busy few weeks, fun few weeks.
There's a game that's been built up out of all proportion.
Exactly, and it keeps getting shoved back and shoved back and shoved back. Will it ever happen? That's the thing. Anyway, let's start wrapping this up. Predictions for Saturday.
I'm thinking 1-0 Eves to score.
Oh, he loves it.
I think it'll be tight. I think that Stevie Lovell sets us up certainly in away games, sets us up not to lose, sets us up to be tight, and I think he's doing that at home as well. So I don't think we're going to spank anybody. So I'm going to say a narrow 2-1 win after a scare, I think.
Similar to Orient.
Yeah, Orient was similar, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Very comfortable. I think if we'd scored a couple first half, we'd have probably been a lot. You know, it could have been.
Wouldn't surprise me if Carlisle score first.
I'm going to stay positive because I know we haven't won in the league at home, but in the cup we have won twice under Steve Lovell and scored 9 goals, 7 of them against the mighty Reading Children. I'm going to go
7-5.
2-0 Gilles. So we've got 2-0, 1-0, 2-1.
Yeah.
Who'd won in the third round then, if all goes to plan? Home or
It
away?
came up on my time up the other day, a few years back. Steve Redgrave done the FA Cup third round draw, and the last 4 balls were Gilles, Man United, Barnet and Accrington, and Leeds. I think Barnet and Accrington had a replay, and we got Barnet or Accrington, and that frustrated me. So United or Leeds away would be lovely.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
I'd love a big team away in the third round. Let's have it. Let's have our fun. Let's go out and then concentrate on the league.
Yep.
Get some money. So for me, I would love, because we've never played them, to play Liverpool, someone like that.
Yeah, I think a proper. We did obviously we've had Tottenham in the last
proper
year, haven't we? So we've done Chelsea,
footballing City, innit?
done Chelsea, done Arsenal. We've had Leeds,
Footballing City,
United, Liverpool, or even someone in the Championship. If you can get a big one up there, Villa, something like
It's
that.
one of them, and if it's a big team, you want it to be away. If it's a lower team, stick it at home.
Newcastle.
Oh yeah, if it's at home, you're going to be at home, then you just want it something that's winnable again, don't you?
Yeah.
And then hope that you get the 4th round one. Newcastle's miles.
Don't edit this next bit out. This conversation now means we're either going to lose or get Accrington or Barnet.
But look, we went out to Accrington as well in that round. I checked earlier.
United away. I'd love United away.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It's just a big away trip. Get it out of the way. Focus on the league.
That's it, yeah. And that could give you confidence anyway. You might go up there and only get beat 1 or 2-0. And
It's easier to convince work to give you a day off for Man United
Tell
away
you what.
than Barnet away.
Southampton away, because Junior is down at Southampton Uni.
nice ground,
It's a
Sam.
lovely stadium.
We could have a good weekend down there.
Newcastle, I don't feel Newcastle would be absolutely freezing. The first weekend of January would be absolutely taters up there. Not like it's meant to be decent.
So this is going to be a draw on Saturday.
So we're going to lose on Saturday.
No, it'll be a
and
draw.
the dream will die.
Draw. We'll have to go up to bloody Carlisle on Tuesday.
And the Maidstone game will be played next summer at some point after the season's finished. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Please keep doing the usual, and until next time, up the Gilles.